Hello and welcome to another episode of Fulham Chronicles. Hello, Melinda.
Hi, Zara.
So what have we been up to since last time we've been in the studio?
No, we're not going to talk about that. We are actually going to talk about the new addition to your family.
Boom! 4 legs.
Yeah, 4-legged.
Hop. It's a trial to see if my children can actually look after a dog because they very much so want one. So we decided to go for a rabbit.
Oh, it's so exciting. They're going to...
And even better, it's a rabbit from Fulham that somebody has
Oh.
decided to give it away.
He's going
not
to
for free.
going to his forever home.
Yes.
It's going to blow the boys' minds. They're going to be so excited.
It's something that we've wanted. It was in between a rabbit and some guinea pigs. So
Good choice.
The rabbits are happening now.
How exciting. So who have we got on the podcast today?
So today we've got my dear friend Torty. And it's a great pleasure to have you today in the studio because I know that you came out of your comfort zone. But it's just chat with friends, isn't it, Melinda?
It is, exactly that.
Yeah, well, welcome, Torty.
Oh, thank you. It's a treat to be here.
Right, so tell us more about you. So since when Fulham and obviously the crystals and what's happening in that wonderful place. So yeah, from the beginning first. When did you firstly move to Fulham?
I was born and bred in Fulham, and I love it. I can't think of a more wonderful place and location to live. And I never thought I would leave, ever. But 2 years ago, we did. We moved the children to Dorset. But I still work in Fulham because this Fulham girl will always be.
Yeah, once a Fulham girl, always a Fulham girl.
I think so.
Yeah, this is a good one, actually. Right, so teaching?
Teaching. So I went to day school in London and then went off to a really tiny boarding school in Berkshire and loved the whole educational journey. I just was supported by amazing men and women in the classroom, outside the classroom. And I really enjoyed the whole experience. And I realised how lucky.
That's quite unusual.
It's really
I meant to say you
unusual.
were a very lucky girl.
And I was really grateful. And I've got 3 brothers. And I felt incredibly supported throughout the whole process. So much so that when I was 16, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I was like, that is something that I really would love to do. I want to work with children.
What a beautiful thing to say.
Well, you could see the difference it made in your life, probably,
Absolutely.
and how you can make a difference in
Absolutely.
others.
True, like, so special. We really look back on it fondly. And so then fast forward, I do my PGC and then I do my teaching PGC. Sorry, backtrack. I do my geography degree up in Newcastle.
Wow.
So I go to Newcastle and I study geography. Love that. Fascinated with how the world is connected with human beings. And then I did my PGC teaching at Roehampton, which was amazing to commute from Fulham to Roehampton, you know, crossing that river every day and just really feeling that I'm excited about where it was going to take me. And then I taught in Fulham for 2 years.
Can you say where you taught?
Yes, at Sir John Lilly Primary on the Lily Road.
Yes.
And Sue Hayward, the head teacher, again, was a hugely inspiring mentor in my life. You know, she really believed in me and she really let me just teach. You know, there was no right or wrong. She's just like, go for it,
Fantastic.
you know, and that was incredible. And then I thought, I know that I love teaching, but I now am 26 and I've been in the world of teaching for, you know, I taught sailing in the summer holidays when I was at school to make money. And I was like, I just need to check that there isn't another avenue. So then I went and just did, you know, the end of term was July. And I was like, I just need to make sure that I'm not, I just need to go and work in television for a bit. I just need to just make sure that I scratch that itch. And
why TV? It just been
I don't
something
know,
you'd
like
always
the
been
art
fascinated.
I didn't know that. I love it.
the art side with kids. I was like, you know, like we could do something, you know, I could do something here. And let's see. And so then I had a few really exciting jobs. I did worked at the BBC for like a summer placement, which was amazing.
Was it
And
for
then,
children or was it?
I mean, it was kind of like just helping them with anything. You
Nice.
know, like a
Yeah.
kind of, you know, the post,
Yes.
whatever I could do. I just kind of wanted to feel what it
exciting.
was like to be in that world.
Mm.
And then from there, I ended up working for a few independent companies and helping them on projects. And actually, 9 months later, it didn't take me long. I had done a presenting course and I had worked them for a presenting company, not presenting, but helping them organize things, because being a teacher, you have to be super organized. So I had
Yes.
that skill, and they were like, well, then we can get you some gigs. And then I was like, what am I doing? Like, this has been so cool and amazing and such an experience. But I want to be with kids, you know, like I
Aw.
really want to be with them for that academic year and for them to really know that they have got a support, you know, and to make great progress with their studies like I was.
Mm.
And so that really was a great moment for me when I really truly knew.
But also you scratch that itch, which
Yeah,
is great.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
you'll never have a regret
yeah,
that you didn't
exactly.
try. And,
I'm
Exactly.
so happy when people do that, because if not all your life, you will be a coulda, shoulda, woulda, what if?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's done.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So then so now it's July and term starts at the beginning of September. And teachers are back in, as we all know, like a week before term starts, getting ready. And I'm like, oh no, that's where I want to be. Where's a job? And I ended up working for the most amazing man, Magoo Giles, who had set up a school called Knightsbridge School in the heart of Knightsbridge.
Mm.
And it was the most incredible working environment. We, yet again, were incredibly supported. We were working with fabulous children who were from all across the world. You know, they would be coming to Knightsbridge and they wanted a safe haven for their children to learn. And Magoo's mantra was, you work hard and you play hard. So in the classroom, we're all working hard. And then the minute we're out the classroom, we're outdoors doing stuff and playing with the kids, or, you know, going off team bonding, you name it. He just opened the doors of excitement, you know, in the middle of the city. And again, I just feel really grateful that I had 10 really happy years there. And then when I had children, it was that, I don't want to stop working. You know, I really love working in a team and I want to carry on. I want to be working. Fast forward my second bit, she was 2.5. So Lexi, my eldest, Alexa, she was 5. And that's when Nick and I had to sit down and think, it's not right at home. So I took a break from work to be with the children, which we all know that working women raising a family and tick, 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 trying to do it all is incredibly hard. And it's only getting harder. But hopefully we're getting wiser with how to actually reprogram to make sure that we're okay in that crazy world that we're living in. And at that stage, I was finding that as every week went by with me being at home, although it was really good for me being at home with the children, my self-worth was disappearing because I had always worked. And then suddenly you are at home, which is so important to be, but you haven't got any money supporting yourself. So then you are reliant on your partner, which is an uncomfortable place to be. And I found that really hard. And actually, my amazing husband now found it really hard at the time that he just saw me at home, not bringing anything in, right? So it was a kind of a disharmony there. And at the same time, we had Alexa, who would sit here now and be part of this conversation. And she would say, yes, I am severely dyslexic and I find numbers, you know, what are they? And then my emotional understanding of being able to read a room and friendships When I was 5, Mum, I couldn't. So when it comes to play dates, suddenly you're at home and you're trying to help your children be social, and I see the fact that our amazing girl she can't access the world around her. So then I'm now questioning the fact that I can't seem to support my own daughter, and yet I've been supporting 30 children in a class.
Yes.
Yes.
And that was really,
hit
really
you hard.
tough. And Nick found it really hard to navigate this because,
He's a
he's just doing a
Yeah.
different thing.
Yeah.
And so then communication, like it breaks down because you're coming from different places. And there were some really, really hard moments. And by the time Alexa was 6, I was incredibly worried for her well-being. So then we had to remove her.
Can I say
from-
something?
Yeah.
In all of these, like emotional discussion,
Yeah.
trying to like hold it together, you never once mentioned you. How were you?
Well, I was increasingly becoming completely and utterly depleted.
Okay.
And I was still being supported by our amazing families around us. But they were like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And by the end of it, I was screaming, Melinda. I was like, it's not okay. Like, none of this is okay. And Nick is not okay. And I'm not okay. And although Alexa is not okay, like the younger, amazing little sunshine sister is not going to be okay if this carries on.
Yes, because it will have an impact on her as well.
An impact on her.
Of course.
So then I sit here truly grateful. The fact that we could have the funds to send Alexa to a specialist school when she was 8. And that's what really gets me, because we could afford to.
Yes, and other people. Yeah.
Take your time. Have some water, and don't. We are. I'm trying to hold it so I don't make you go. 'Cause, every time. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So I sit here with great gratitude in my heart because we were able to change the story, right? We were able to get her into an amazing specialist school, and Anne O'Doherty, who was the head of the school, really helped us. Really, really helped us. So Lexi had 3 years. This is my maths, she gets it from me. 3 or 4 years there. And then we decided that we were going to get her out of London. And that was the decision we made 2.5 years ago. And we moved to Dorset. And she is now flourishing at a school in the countryside, which is an amazing school. And by the time she was in year 8, she was made head girl.
Wow.
So I was like, how have we gone? Like,
Yeah,
so
you've gone from
whole
this
business
to
from
this,
right?
yes.
So I'm like, no, like she's done it. She's done it. And we will continue to proudly support her on her journey, but she has done this. But my gosh, did we put a lot of work into that.
Oh,
And this is where Crystal Garden was born. 5 years ago, literally to the week. So it is extraordinary that I'm sitting here. Yeah, it's so
Yay.
funny.
No. Yes.
So basically, 5 years ago, my eldest brother was running a spiritual retreat in Greece. And he sent me the brochure of it and said, share with all your friends. And remember, I'm not working, right? I'm at home with the children. I've been at home for, a year and a half. And I was like, I was just about to send it to lots of friends who would, love to go. And I didn't, which was so unlike me, like not to like
Share
share it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
Wow, I've got goosebumps.
And I didn't know who was going to look after the kids for a week. I didn't know how I was going to afford it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I just said, I'm coming. And again, because I'm incredibly fortunate. Nick was like, I don't want you to go because I think it could be, you may change and not come back, because he was scared too.
Okay.
But he was like, you got to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, as
Yeah.
in, you got to
Yes.
go
Yeah.
and go, just go.
I get
Do you
it,
know
but
what I mean?
please come
Yeah,
back. Don't
yeah.
run,
Do you
don't
know
run
what I mean?
away.
Like,
Yeah.
exactly. And that is it. Like, come back, Anyway, for the first 3 days, I couldn't speak, Zara. I literally brain dead. I was like, I just can't think. And meanwhile, there are these wonderful people on the retreat, and there is Reki going on. There is tarot reading. There's astrology courses. Like, you can dip into all of it. It's like, it was amazing. There was yoga.
Can we talk about Reki and what is it? Because people might
One,
not.
absolutely. Anyway, on the fourth day of this retreat, I was like, I know exactly what I want to do. I want to create a crystal garden where people can come and feel heard and supported and help their families' well-being. And that well-being starts with the mama.
She's the glue, the linchpin and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Reiki was much later.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Crystal Garden, what I offer is vibrational medicine with crystals. And then we also work with Reiki, which is healing using your hands, where Reiki is accessible to all of us, okay? But you are Reiki attuned by a master, someone who teaches Reiki. And then once you're attuned, you can get your Reiki 1 and Reiki 2. And once you've got Reiki 2, it means that you can practice on friends and family and share this, what I would describe as the most incredible, universal light energy, which is accessible and there for us all to bring in the goodness, and to really connect with your higher self. Whether that's on a physical level, on an emotional level, and on the wider connection level with the world, which for me brings in all the geography that I ever learned, right? Because we are all connected.
Let's go back to Crystal Garden.
Yes.
So we are in your wonderful place.
Yeah.
What happens?
Well, when I had this idea, I didn't know how it was going to come together. But I knew that I wanted to learn as much as I could about crystals to bring in a new language into our home.
And what was Nick saying about all of this?
What are you talking about?
What the hell is this?
I don't want you talking like this in front of the children. Like,
Oh,
this
wow,
is
okay,
this is
interesting.
this is weird.
I was going to use this word and I didn't want it to offend you.
Yeah.
But I've often heard people, there's a funny expression, go, it's a woo, woo,
Oh,
woo,
yeah.
woo, this whole woo,
Oh,
what
yeah.
is this woo, woo stuff? Like, I was like, oh, I've never heard that. But
Absolutely.
but it's kind
I
of
mean,
like that.
that you're
Just
just speaking my
because-
language. Like,
What is this?
Just
Yes.
because we are on this subject now, and I don't want to come back to it, I remember even now closing my eyes vividly when Nick came in the shop and he said to me, go and do it.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah.
So turn around.
And I keep telling you, I would
Yeah.
not. He literally looked at me. No, he's like he's a wonderful man. He's like funniest guy, and he looked at
Well,
me
that's-
so serious. Like I'm the most skeptical you would say would be like, oh, like you said,
Woo,
what
woo,
is
what is
that?
this?
What
Yeah.
is this? But he looked at me, obviously knowing the situations and everything. Go and do it. He's gonna change your life.
So
and I
w-
looked at him, I was like,
So was it literally that you had then practiced on him, like you said, friends and family?
But that
and
came
then-
later
yeah.
because I remember him saying to us, what are you talking about, And I said, just go with me on this, okay?
Trust
me,
trust me.
Really, just go with this and just see how it organically grows. And so it was a way for me to really block out outside noise and to bring everything inside the house to be feeling really calm and to create stillness and using crystals as discussion with Alexa. And whilst I'm learning all about it, she sees how calm it's making me. And then that's a knock-on effect on creating the calm for her. Because it's this beautiful ripple effect I have found that my practice with using crystals and seeing their incredible potential from Mother Earth to help us, it has this really calming but invigorating feeling in one's home, you know, and it's just been really powerful for us. Now with Alexa, there will be moments when I'm probably a little bit, you know, let's say tense over something. She'll be like, Mum, go and hang out with your crystals, you know? And she's right. And it is that, meditative practice of just sitting still and getting in touch with your proper breathing and working on what it is that's making you feel tense. So, for example, these beautiful black tourmalines are associated with your root chakra, grounding, stability, and just keeping your feet on the ground. And we can all get lost in our thoughts. We can all be carried off on waves of either anxiety or things that are really real obstacles. And it's looking at that obstacle and really, this is Crystal Gardens thought process, okay?
Yes.
Like looking at those obstacles and thinking, what is it that's making me feel?
Can we
and
say
why?
that word that for me, after visiting you, was life-changing? Intentions.
Intentions.
It's one of my favorite words now. And the second is manifesting it. When I left that home, I can't even explain. I don't know. And it's one of those things I think I was ready for it because I've experienced it fully. But in those intentions, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you have them, obviously baby steps. But I knew exactly what I wanted when I left that home. And it bounced back. It's one of those surprises you have. Oh, sugar. How did I not see that?
Yes,
Clarity.
clarity.
Because you don't have that 1 hour to speak to somebody that you trust about your emotions. You don't. And plus, can you trust nowadays? Where does it go from there? So intentions. Yeah.
So powerful.
Oh, wow.
So powerful. And that they're simple intentions and that they are based with gratitude at the heart, because then they're authentic and real. And I cannot kind of say it enough to my children and to myself and to my amazing family that we have to live in constant gratitude for what we have, for our health, for the food that we can put on the table, for the water that we, because we are so fortunate. And
it's difficult though, isn't it? People might just tell you like, oh, when life happens around, but this is where the problem lays. We don't have that moment to stop and say, thank you, universe, for all of this. Because we don't have, because life happens, we're busy, children, work, husband, life, friends, everything else. So it's brilliant that we have something like what you beautifully created, where it stops that time and just be grateful.
So right now in Fulham, operating out of our house, we have our consultations in the kitchen together, and then we have a beautiful room where the treatment space is. So it's not a garden, but you're stepping into your world where you're meeting your mind, body, and soul, and you're going to have a moment where you're truly listening to what you need and what needs to be released or shifted or brought in or harnessed or empowered. And that's what we're working with. And through our wonderful discussion at the beginning and the questions that I have, which are all targeted to different parts of your body and your different chakra chakras, then I, with the knowledge that I have learned, am putting the crystals that I feel will really benefit you within this hour's treatment.
So because obviously I haven't experienced it,
Yes.
but is it not only to do with mental health, can it be also about physical?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Physical ailment or, it's something internal, something that you've done from the outside. We work with all of that.
So literally mind, body, as you say.
Absolutely. And intention. Like, so, you would come, and even if one has never experienced a crystal healing before, through our sacred, confidential, enlightening conversation, I'm always coming back within that discussion where we're building up to the intention, because I want you to come, have this experience, have this treatment, and then
instead
walk
of
away.
a healer.
Instead of a healer.
Okay.
I'm definitely, I think my friends would agree. Like, there's the practitioner side, because I want to equip you with things to take home that are really going to help you and your children. And, and firstly, after you've had your treatment with me, you will, within 24 hours or up to 48 hours, you will hear from me with a full write-up of everything that we discussed. So you haven't had to remember anything. You've just come and you've just been still and heard. And so then you get your full write-up afterwards, explaining what we discussed, what we did, and then what points came up that through our discussion you will resonate with you. Some may not, that then you want to pull in to your lifestyle, but working on what you already do, not overcomplicating it.
Right.
What I'm trying to promote is this sense of nothing's urgent with Crystal Garden. Crystal Garden is always here. And once you've walked through the door, you're in Crystal Garden. There's never any obligation. It's not come for a session, pay for 5, and then, off you go. Come for one, see how you feel. Some people come every month. Some people want to come every week. Some people say, I know exactly where you are, and call me up 6 months later when they're like, I need you now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes me really happy, because it's this this world that people know is really authentic and sacred and truthful and care, and it's kind, and we're all in this together, because life is really hard, and the more support we can give to each other, and it's a two-way and energy exchange, is a beautiful thing. But the other one, which is really hard, is that we all now have these amazing devices attached to us, and there are so many incredible meditations that people can listen to, and there's so much beautiful music that really help people to go to sleep to.
But also,
But it's on their phone.
Yeah.
So this is this just constant stimulation.
Yes.
it's a devil in disguise.
And it is really tricky. But, I wouldn't be without my phone. It is like my
Yes.
office space in the palm of my hand. Thank you so much.
Yes,
it is
exactly.
amazing. And I'm partial to a photo or two. So, I'm really grateful to the iCloud sharing my 2 million up there.
Should we do the on-the-spot question? So you, Torty, are not one to miss this. And you, my love, are going to start first.
Oh my gosh. Is there a particular crystal that if you had to pick just one, sad, because I'm sure you've got a fabulous collection, and I
Yeah,
know
but-
that they all have different kind of probably meanings, personal to you probably as well, and that they have different energy. But if there was one that you could say, okay, if I have to keep hold of one, I can't let this go, which one would it be?
It would. There's so many.
I know there
Your
are.
favourite.
But it's got to be a favourite.
I mean, the one that gives me the biggest smile is citrine, because it's the stone that is
Is the yellow
associated,
one?
yeah, associated with your solar plexus and your confidence, and just really anything is possible, However, my first love was with amethyst
Okay.
on this journey. 5 years ago.
May
And
we
it's
know
funny because
why?
it looks just like that
That
purple,
colour,
lovely sign. Amethyst for this real, just really to simmer everything down. And just to really bring in such calm kind of embodiment of whatever's going around you. It's just, we can do this calmly. And I love how it's associated with one's third eye and intuition, because we have the answers within us. And sometimes you just need Crystal Garden
Exactly.
to help you get them. You know,
fantastic. Thank you.
You know what? You couldn't have said it any better. It's so funny how we all have it, you know, but we call the GP and they tell us to take paracetamol. So instead of doing that, we need to experience you. Right, my question. Well, I've got two. So I'm trying to think which one should I go for. Because I don't want to ask you, I want to ask something about yourself. Okay. All right, it's not that bad. I just feel like, you know, we go, all right. So obviously you are a person that comes with quite of an energy around, right? And you might not see it. But if you were to get your name and a place in the world that are one and the same, where do you feel home?
wow. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, Fulham's got to, come
You don't
up.
need to say Fulham, because
know,
I don't
but
know why I
mean,
see you at the
you know,
sea.
like
I
Fulham.
see you in front of the moon,
yeah.
like with the wolves.
Where do I feel really
Yeah.
at home?
Because we are all energies, aren't
Yeah,
we?
we are all energies. I've always loved water. And especially when I was, for me, living by the river has been really amazing. Because we are rivers ourselves, aren't we? We're always flowing. And obstacles come and get in the way, but they're there to learn from, And so I do find water incredibly calming, and I miss it when I'm not by it. But it's funny, my father was born in Cornwall, in Truro. So as a family, we've spent many lovely moments on the beach. Doesn't matter what the weather is, we're there. And that Atlantic Sea is really, really quite powerfully special to me.
Oh, I am satisfied with the answer. No, I've seen that coming. Yeah. I think everybody should definitely experience one of these. I don't want to say skeptical, because
I
but
mean, I love a
it,
skeptic, because and I've had plenty
you know what you
of
told me once.
Yeah,
Nick was your biggest skeptic.
Yeah.
I will never forget. So he would not,
No.
have it.
No. And he's my biggest champion of all, because
He's your biggest supporter.
yeah. And I think when I was like, once I had done lots of, and one never stops learning, right? There's so much that I will continue to, on a quest to find out as much as I can, with these gifts from Mother Earth. But that feeling of turning something I am truly passionate about, which was stemmed from such a sad, unhappy moment, to have turned it into the safest space, which is truly sacred, where initially I was working with just, working women who needed to come and have a rest and recharge and then go back out into the world. And then it obviously, I'm truly grateful that it's grown, and men and women and young adults are, coming in through the door. And I have lots of amazing people saying, "Oh, please, will you work on my child?" And I say, "Absolutely, I will, but you're coming first, because that's."
So what is new for Crystal Garden? So
What
just to
is
wrap
new?
this beautiful,
so
hour we had
I
together.
am in London, working in London. Come and find me here in Fulham. But what is in the pipeline is
A retreat. going.
Yes, where you have to leave your phone.
Okay.
You have to leave your phone.
I don't have issues with leaving my phone.
No.
It's my kids I have issues with.
Well, of
It's
course,
so
you know,
weird.
that's-
Well, give me 10 years and I'll probably
Yeah.
run to a retreat of yours.
yeah. But in the pipeline is a crystal garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are looking forward to hearing more about that next time and to all of our networking events. And until then, please go and see Torty.
Oh, Torty, thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank
It
you
was such a lovely
much. No, it
conversation.
it was brilliant.
And you have really literally brought such a fabulous calming energy
that's what you
to the
do.
studio.
Bless you, Melinda.
No,
Wow.
it radiates off you. It really does.
Thank you. It's
Aw.
really amazing seeing that purple.
On our
It
sponsor's logo.
it always follows you.
Yeah. No, I really thank you.
No,
because you
thank
have
you for
made me
coming.
think and reflect on the last 5 years, which
You needed a crystal garden
so-
too.
It was good
Thank you.
timing for you to
Yeah.
be here. So
Thank
thank
Yes,
you
it
so
was.
much.
Thank you
very
so much.
And before we finish off officially and part ways, say a huge thank you to Archie Pango, our sponsor,
Thank you.
and also massive thanks to Voxpod Studios for this gorgeous and very calm space in the heart of Parsons Green, Fulham. Thank you, Torty.
Oh, thanks,
Thank you
guys.
so much for
Thank you.
coming.